The special prosecutor investigating the president says he was a very helpful witness. The phenomenal weekend for Tiger Woods. And where will he go from here? And what it is that makes the brain go yuck. It's what you smell on Your Health Tonight, your nose, and your brain.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a recurring problem back to haunt President Clinton once again. In Little Rock, Arkansas today, the Clintons' former business partner in the Whitewater land deal, James McDougal, has been sentenced to 3 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Mr. McDougal could have gone to prison for longer, but he has been cooperating with the Whitewater Independent Council. In Little Rock tonight, ABC's Jackie Judd.
This is one of those days.
There was no trace of Jim McDougal's usual flamboyance as he entered the courthouse. Inside, even with a reduced sentence, he turned ashen-faced as the judge read the order. McDougal had faced 84 years, but won the lighter sentence because of his cooperation. Independent counsel Ken Starr effusively praised McDougal, calling him the epicenter of the investigation, and claiming there has been independent corroboration of what he has told prosecutors.
And he has assisted us and continues to assist us in having a fuller, broader, deeper understanding of that evidence, and we have said that it has led us to both documents and it has led us to witnesses.
Sources close to the investigation say McDougal has implicated then Governor Clinton in a conspiracy to obtain an illegal government-backed loan in the mid-'80s. President Clinton, under oath, denied any involvement, and McDougal himself testified in support of the president. But now the story has changed. McDougal says what he is saying now will be proven correct.
I'm not peddling truth or asking people to believe anything. I have simply responded, and I think that the documentary evidence will substantiate anything I have said.
Without being specific, prosecutors also said that McDougal has opened whole new areas of inquiry, reportedly including additional financial transactions between himself and Mr. Clinton. The one person who might back up much of what McDougal has said is his ex-wife, Susan McDougal. But she's in jail for her refusal to cooperate with Starr or to even testify before his grand jury. Jackie Judd, ABC News, Little Rock.
On the subject of independent counsels, we have been waiting all day to see whether or not the Attorney General, Janet Reno, would appoint an independent counsel. She's been under pressure to do so, to investigate political fundraising. We're joined in Washington tonight by ABC's Linda Douglas. The letter she was writing has just showed up, Linda, right?
That's right, and in that 12-page letter that was released just today, Attorney General Janet Reno says she will not seek the appointment of an independent counsel to investigate campaign fundraising. Now, Reno relied on advice from career prosecutors who say they found no evidence that a high official, such as the president, has committed a crime. Such evidence is required under the independent counsel law.
Now, she's under tremendous pressure from Republicans to appoint this counsel. What do you know on that?
Well, the Republicans charge that Janet Reno has a conflict of interest investigating the fundraising practices of the president who appointed her. And yesterday, Republican leaders warned they won't let up on Reno unless she changes her mind.
The buck stops with Janet Reno. And there appears to be specific and credible evidence that there's been wrongdoing here.
House Speaker Newt Gingrich suggested Reno should consider resigning.
If she can look at the day after day revelations about this administration and not conclude it's time for independent counsel, how can any serious citizen have any sense of faith in her judgment?
Reno has said repeatedly she is prepared to change her mind.
I will constantly review the evidence, and if at any point the statute is triggered, we will ask for an independent counsel.
Now, in looking at Democratic fundraising practices, the Justice Department has made some controversial decisions about what's legal and what's not. In every case, concluding that the actions of the president and the vice president were legal. Republicans are going to continue to challenge Reno's interpretation of the law and charge that she is just trying to protect her boss. Peter?
Okay, Linda, thanks very much. We're also joined this evening in Washington by ABC's Cokie Roberts. Cokie, we have the makings of real political warfare here. Any chance that Washington will get so focused on this that other stuff won't get done?
Peter, you know, there's all this conversation about getting to a budget agreement by the end of this week. That's the agreement that would lead us to a balanced budget, have tax cuts, all those things people have said they care about. But it requires bipartisanship. Awfully hard to be bipartisan when you're fighting over this There's going to be a big partisan fight over the chemical weapons treaty. There's going to be a big partisan fight over the seating of the Democratic senator from Louisiana, Mary Landrieu. And I think that the bipartisanship we heard so much about and that the voters said they liked gets lost in all of these fights.
All this pressure that was put on Janet Reno over the weekend by Republicans would seem, to me at least, to just encourage her to dig in her heels.
It would certainly be my reaction, and I think that it seems to be her reaction. It's interesting, though, Republicans are nervous about taking her on too strongly. She has an independent constituency in the country of people who like her, and I know one Republican leader who has 2 statements ready on Janet Reno.
Okay, Cookie Roberts in Washington, thank you very much. There's more on this fundraising today. The Democratic National Committee today released thousands of documents concerning fundraising, one of them from 1992, in which party officials request that major fundraisers be given serious consideration for jobs in the Clinton administration. And at least 20 of them, we learned from these documents, end up working for the government. There was also a list of 62 fundraisers who rewarded with flights on Air Force One or Air Force Two. Just got those documents today, more analysis of them to come. When we come back this evening, we will have some of the day's other news. There are some new clues about that horrible condition called anorexia, why people do sometimes starve themselves to death. On your health tonight, also why you are what you smell, amazing news about the nose. And yes, that's Tiger Woods, so young and already the best in the game. What does it mean?
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, brought to you by the new Montana from Pontiac.
Introducing the rugged new Montana from Pontiac. It's the only minivan with seating for 8. Life is more exciting in Montana.
Pick you boys up same time tomorrow?
Here's an offer from Alpo no one can resist. Instant savings on Disney's 101 Dalmatians. It's sure to be one of the hottest videos ever. Just buy specially marked Alpo and save up to $8 at checkout on the classic video with 101 of Disney's most adorable stars. So give your dog real beef in every bite. Then get instant savings on a great video.
A great dog deserves Alpo.
Denture wearers, guess what? Polident can clean your dentures and fight denture odor in just 5 minutes. So Minty Polident cleans stains and fights denture odor this fast. Honey, try Polident, the only 5-minute denture soak.
Here in Alaska, my hobby is growing world record vegetables like this one, and I use Miracle Grow and only Miracle Grow.
That's Miracle Grow for you.
If Miracle Grow can get results like those in Alaska, just imagine what it can do in your garden.
There is news tonight which may cause the eating disorder anorexia to be cast in a whole new light. Anorexia is the disorder which causes people, mostly young women, to severely restrict their eating. Some literally starve themselves to death. Now, British researchers have conducted studies which may indicate, here's the news, that anorexia is a physical disorder rather than a psychological one. They used brain scans on 19 women and children who have anorexia, and they have detected a reduced flow of blood to a portion of their brains which controls how they see themselves and their appetite. And we are joined by our medical editor, Dr. Tim Johnson. Tim, what does this mean? It sounds exciting.
Well, it is intriguing. It's one small hint that there may be a biological basis, or at least a biological basis for predisposition for anorexia. I should point out there are 2 other studies being presented at the same meeting in London, looking at different areas of the brain showing changes. So I think we're a long way from final answers, but the hunt for a biological cause is definitely on.
But biological suggests to me equals pill someday that prevents anorexia. Possible?
It's possible, but I have to say I think unlikely. I think what we're going to end up with is a predisposition to this condition that at the right time, typically in the teenage years, with other factors, social and psychological and media factors, brings about the full-blown disease. So it'll be one factor, but not the only factor, and I think we'll continue to treat it on many different fronts.
Okay, Tim, many thanks. Tim Johnson, our medical editor. We have one more health item in a highly unusual move. The National Institutes of Health has cut short a major study after only 1 year because the results were so good. They were testing to see what the best treatment is for life-threatening heart arrhythmias, which kill 350,000 Americans annually, and they concluded that implantable defibrillators, those tiny electric devices that stimulate the heart, work far better than the current drug treatments. Ergo, end of study. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrials recovered some of Friday's big gains, gaining about 60 points to close at 64.51. You're a bit ahead of me there. On the NASDAQ market, stocks gained 9.5 points. When we come back, the day of the tiger.
Nothing takes you out of the action faster than a diarrhea medicine that can let you down. But you can count on a Modium AD to stop diarrhea, often in one dose. You could end up taking dose after dose after dose of the pink stuff to stop diarrhea as effectively as a Modium AD. Don't take chances when you have diarrhea. Take a Modium AD, one dose relief you can count on.
Ready to do something about your hearing loss? My Beltone Visa, the hidden hearing aid, has something new.
Beltone Visa is improved with the comfort circuit. Here's how it works. Our comfort circuit automatically adjusts to help keep loud sounds comfortable and to make soft sounds easier to hear.
I hear great, and it's still as small around as my contact lens.
Save $100 on Visa with the comfort circuit. Visit Beltone today before this offer disappears.
Nobody does it like you.
For high traffic areas, there's the deep cleaning power of the Hoover Steam Vac Deluxe with 5-brush agitator.
Nobody does it like you.
Millions of roads, lots of surprises. Be prepared with OnStar, the satellite tracking system that can send help in an emergency, unlock doors, even give directions. Get a new Cadillac DeVille, Seville, or Eldorado now, and we'll include the OnStar onboard system, nearly $1,000 value at no extra charge, which should make life a little easier, no matter what road you're on.
If you can do this, you can make wood beautiful with Minwax. And if you can do this, you can give wood lasting protection. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
Tonight on Nightline, Janet Reno's long-awaited decision on an independent investigation of the White House. Damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. On Nightline, followed by Politically Incorrect. Tonight.
Monday, the series finale of Relativity.
This is what happens, okay?
You won't believe what else is happening.
Will you marry me?
On Relativity, ABC Monday.
And now to Tiger Woods. There is so much to say.
I'm Tiger Woods. I am Tiger Woods.
Last September, Woods signed a $40 million deal with Nike. It will last several years. In the last 6 months, Nike's sales of golfing apparel and shoes, which were never a big part of their inventory, have gone up more than 100%. He will only get more expensive. Look at what he appears to have done for... Well, it may make sense in this modern age that you start with the commercials rather than the event, but we would have started with how much there is to say about this guy, about sports and pride, and the potential for enormous wealth and impact. So let's reverse ourselves a little and go to the sports. Here's ESPN and ABC's Jimmy Roberts.
Even before he had slipped on the green jacket yesterday, one after another, the world's greatest golfers shook their heads and lined up to testify. Tiger Woods had lapped the field.
This was his week. This is his golf course for sure, and I think the future of golf is Tiger Woods.
Oh, unbelievable.
It's not a black or white issue or anything like that. It's just the fact that he's the best golfer in the world, and he's 21 years old.
But for the 90% of Americans who do not play golf,
oh, look at this,
who might not be able to appreciate the technical wizardry of what Woods did yesterday, just what exactly does this mean?
There is no comparable human achievement. I say that because the only thing that springs to mind would be Secretariat's 31-length victory in that famed Belmont.
I don't know if there's a comparison in baseball. I would say
probably a kid coming out of high school, going right up to the major leagues, and winning his first 10 games.
Tiger was something extra special and probably not human the way he played yesterday. I was in total awe of his performance.
Woods had been preparing for this moment his entire life, first swinging a golf club when he was only months old, before dominating the relatively anonymous world of amateur golf. Woods' record-breaking performance at the Masters has many in the world of golf predicting that he should become the 5th golfer in history to win all 4 of the game's most important tournaments, each majors over the course of one career, and wondering if perhaps maybe he might become the first ever to win them all in one season. Jimmy Roberts for ABC News, Atlanta.
The big point we also want to make is that there is so much more to this than golf and endorsements, because Tiger Woods is the first person of color to win the Masters. He regards himself as black and Asian. His mother is from Thailand. And it is, we think, an extraordinary coincidence that he arrives like this in the very week that we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball. In golf, no black man had ever made it to the Masters until 1975, and the Augusta National Golf Course wasn't integrated until 6 years ago. So for many Americans, this is about pride. Here's ABC's Kevin Newman.
Charlie Sifford's trophy case traces the struggle from the days when non-whites weren't allowed to play professional golf
in 1960.
to his role in being the first African-American on the PGA Tour, and now watching Tiger Woods.
Oh, man, what a feeling. You got to be a strong young man to go through what he went through this week.
Lee Elder was the first non-white invited to play the Augusta course 22 years ago, which is where he returned to watch Tiger win.
I'll be sticking my chest out and calling his name almost any conversation that I have from now on,
In many places today, there was pride over what Tiger Woods has accomplished.
Tiger Woods, the golf man, I think he's kind of cool.
I think it's great. I think it's history.
He's going to be a role model for anybody that wants to do good in life.
That Woods is a man of mixed heritage seemed to make the point better to golfers at this public course near Washington.
He'll be an inspiration to all races.
And that may focus attention beyond his color, to the tenacity his high school golfing coach remembers.
It was awesome to watch him do what he's trained himself to do for 21 years.
Or the lesson in life this class in Harlem took from watching.
If you try your hardest, you can succeed. And you really focus on what you want to do, you can do it.
And then there's young Timothy Sneed of Houston, who picked up his first club after watching Tiger Woods.
He's a good golf player, and someday I might be like him.
A simple thing to say, but it's taken Tiger Woods to help Timothy believe it. Kevin Newman, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, we're watching a huge country disintegrate, and some people see in that business opportunities.
Place body on chassis as shown in Figure 7.
It started with a childhood memory.
Well, it's got to be part retro.
Part modern. We got to be nuts. And at the Chrysler Corporation, it grew into an idea for a car so outrageous, we just had to build it.
Well, it's not exactly for everyone, is it?
That's kind of the point.
It's how we do things at the Chrysler Corporation. It's how we build great cars and great trucks.
Glamorous Hollywood? Not to me. For me, it's long hours and strange locations. Can't get slowed down by irregularity. My doctor says exercise, eat right. But sometimes a meal is whatever you can grab between takes. My doctor suggested Metam Musil, the only leading brand with 100% natural fiber, like the fiber in healthy foods. Keeps me regular, gently, so I can give my usual award-winning performance.
Metam Musil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
Hey, keep it in shape? Uh-huh. You know, Columbia has lots of ways for seniors to stay healthy. They've got nutrition experts, geriatric specialists, cardiac specialists. They even fill prescriptions. Pretty much whatever you need, they've got it. Thanks for the tip. No problem. So how far are you guys going?
About 6 miles.
Huh? Well, you go on ahead. I've got some interviews. I used to play ball.
Introducing Helmans fat-free salad dressing.
Now
Oh, the salad.
Nobody makes homemade dressing like Mom.
Just like I taught her. I didn't make it. Helmans made the dressing. No one makes it like Mama. I didn't make it. Delicious. Helmans made it.
Here's to Mama.
I didn't make it.
Now Helmans adds 4 new fat-free dressings, all with the fresh taste of homemade.
Listen, Helmans made the dressing.
You sold your recipe to Helmans?
We're gonna be rich! We're gonna be rich!
New Helmans, the freshest tasting salad dressing you never made.
Overseas today, rebel forces are closer than ever to capturing Africa's third largest country, Zaire. They are continuing their push toward the capital, Kinshasa, after seizing the city of Lubumbashi. ABC's Anderson Cooper reports from Zaire tonight on the rebellion and why some international companies are watching with great interest.
The rebel leaders arrived in Zaire's second-largest city to a hero's welcome. Lubumbashi is a major prize. The capital of a province rich in cobalt and copper, Lubumbashi allows rebel commander Laurent Kabila to control almost all of Zaire's vast mineral resources. Laurent Kabila isn't wasting any time in trying to reap the benefits of his newfound power. Kabila has been meeting with representatives of several international mining companies. They are here hoping to sign agreements with a man they believe will be the next president of this country. For many, diamonds are the most sought-after commodity.
We got together about $3 million, had to ship it into the country, and we are actually buying diamonds now.
Now that he controls half of Zaire, Kabila has begun to position his forces for a final push toward the capital. Kinshasa was quiet today. Stores remained shut and streets were empty as hundreds of thousands of residents took part in a general strike to pressure President Mobutu to step down. The question many in Kinshasa are asking is, will President Mobutu agree to resign peacefully, or will it take further bloodshed to get him to step down? Anderson Cooper, ABC News, Kisangani, Central Zaire.
From Austria today, a spy story. During a renovation at the Marriott Hotel in Vienna, bugging devices were found in the walls of rooms often used by oil ministers from Iran and Iraq. The Austrian government says it is investigating whether they were put there by the CIA. At a meeting last year about raising export oil quotas in Iraq, both ministers were in attendance. Privately, U.S. officials say if they had bugged the hotel, renovators would never have found the devices. When we come back, on your health, the surprising science of odors.
There are some colors you can only find in the country. Deep forest green, rich cranberry red, and these were the inspiration for the Country Colors collection, crafted in America only by Ethan Allen. A surprisingly affordable way to bring a fresh look to your home, whether it's a farmhouse or a penthouse. Hurry in. Ethan Allen's spring sale is on now.
Television can be very confusing. Sports channels next to cartoon channels, next to cooking programs. It's all jumbled together. Wouldn't it be great if somebody organized it all? Well, Primestar has. We added more new channels. There's 160 in all. Then we specially group them by category, so it's easy to find what you want. And as always with Primestar, you don't have to buy the dish. Call 1-800-PRIMESTAR.
Too bad about that tough headache, hon. I guess we're staying home.
Headache's gone. Took some Tylenol. Extra strength.
It's gone? All gone?
Yeah. You're gonna love the ballet, sweetie.
Bring the Tylenol.
You know those antacid tablets you're always taking for heartburn? Now you can get the acid control of this entire roll in just one little Myant AR. Try Myant AR. This one lasts.
Hey, we're talking doubleheader here!
Just before our last story, a brief review of the lead. President Clinton's former business partner in the Whitewater land deal has been given only 3 years in prison after Whitewater prosecutors said he had substantially aided in their investigation. And finally from us, your nose is in the news this week, and we mean that in the scientific sense. This is very much about the senses. We used to hear stories that too much coffee might contribute to cancer, but tonight a California chemist will claim that merely smelling a fresh cup of coffee will form antioxidants in the body, and they are thought to prevent cancer. And there will be more tomorrow. In this case, a major study about the powerful impact that smell has on your health in general. Here is ABC's Bill Blakemore.
On your mark, get set, go.
These 9-year-olds in Chicago are being tested to see if breathing a flowery odor helps them solve this puzzle faster.
Timers, write down the times.
Alan Hirsch, the researcher running the test, says it does.
In the presence of a mixed floral smell, they learn by 13% faster.
He also says he's found different smells can help with other things.
For weight loss, banana, green apple, and peppermint seem to have a positive effect. For claustrophobia, green apple and cucumber.
Dr. Hirsch's claims are controversial, but a study to be published tomorrow by the National Academy of Sciences
breathe through your nose and see if you can smell anything.
Has found smell can have a powerful, irresistible effect on your emotions.
The odor was terrible. I just didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
And it made me anxious and tense.
Scientists in Minnesota have actually taken a picture of a brain saying yuck after its owner sniffed something resembling sewage.
Sick to your stomach?
This brain scan shows which parts of the brain are working hardest.
What you see the person doing is you see them experiencing an emotion.
Very bad, very unpleasant odors cause this area in the brain, the amygdala, to become extremely active.
And that's an area where the brain generates powerful emotions. One of the reasons that smell is so directly related to strong emotion is that it is the first sense that animal life developed, and it's literally the most intimate. It's the only sense for which bits of the object you're detecting, molecules from it, touch the brain. The smell nerves are part of the brain, the only part that's exposed to the outside. The other 4 senses, such as sight for example, pass through other cells, then through thinking parts of the brain before reaching the emotion center. But the nose is hardwired to send signals first to the emotion center. And those signals, as Rachel Herz has proven at the Monell Laboratories in Philadelphia, can trigger emotional memories.
The emotions come first when we're having an odor-associated memory.
Hertz says an odor can improve your mood, but it's got to be associated with something you like.
You're ready?
Her research also shows that odor can invigorate your memory.
Let's say you studied for an exam with a specific odor. Then if you wore that odor while you were taking the test, you might actually remember more than if you didn't have that odor there.
Such research is not only about common moods and performance. Early results show crippling emotional disease, such as post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety, may be helped with careful use of odors. In a number of ways, science is now proving that what the nose knows can change the quality of your mental life. Bill Blakemore, ABC News, Minneapolis.
Any questions, you can reach us by email at health@abc.com. And that is our report on World News Tonight. Later this evening on Nightline, more on the investigation of campaign financing and the bitter political battle in Washington over whether to appoint an independent counsel. I'm Peter Jennings. We'll see you tomorrow, I hope. Have a good evening and good night.